Hi there, this is Michael Bovee with ConsumerRecoveryNetwork.com, and I want to continue our ongoing series on debt settlement with the topic, how to work with collection attorneys. You know, when it comes to settling debt, obviously the best opportunities we've talked about are settling with your original creditor before they charge the account off. So in the first 6 months of delinquency. Your second best opportunity is to settle with collection agencies or even debt buyers or collection agencies working for debt buyers after the charge-off event. So between months 7 and 12, sometimes month 7 and who knows, forever, will be the best opportunity to settle. When you're not going to hit those targets is when you start to risk the fact that you could be sued. In fact, you might be watching this video because you were recently contacted by an attorney collecting a debt on behalf of your creditor or a debt buyer. In fact, you may even be watching this because you've been sued or you have a judgment against you and now you're in a position to manage your way through an unfortunate circumstance like this. The fact is, judgments, lawsuits, getting a letter from an attorney and you just opened it today, you haven't been sued yet, all of that is managed a little bit differently than settling with your original creditor or a debt collector. Why? Because, well, there's leverage. If you already have a judgment, you can be garnished. You can be levied, your bank account. Wake up in the morning and all of it's gone. You can have property and a lien placed against it as a result of a judgment. Or you're scared out of your mind right now because you got sued and that's unfamiliar and you're not sure what your options are. So the first thing to establish is, should you even settle a debt? I mean, sometimes when it reaches to the point where you're being garnished, judgment, levy, it is time to look at your legal rights in bankruptcy to stop any of that from happening. Let's assume for a moment that you just got a letter from an attorney and you want to prevent being sued or a judgment being entered against you. Well, in this instance, debt collection, it actually is pretty similar to dealing with your bank or a debt collector. You use the phone. You don't use letters. I know there's a ton of information out on the internet about how you write this letter and it's special and it's supposed to do this, or you offer some kind of amount to satisfy the debt through the mail. It just doesn't happen like that. You really do have to pick up the phone at these law offices or these major collection law firms. It's similar to a collection agency. There's people on the phone standing by and that's what they do. They reach out to you, you reach out to them. Settling with an attorney is just as much as an option as it is at any other stage of any collection cycle. It's just that you'll probably end up having to pay more in the settlement. So what you need to know is that attorneys often know what they know about you through public means. They can see real-time access to your credit report. If you're paying other creditors and not this one, they're probably not going to be as open to settling. If your credit report looks like a grenade blew up on it, then it looks like you're somebody in a severe hardship. And when you start talking about the numbers and what you can afford, obviously, like any collector, they just want to get you paying all of it or the whole balance over time. What can you afford a month to pay? Well, you can't. And you have to stick to your guns about that. Assume, where sometimes you can settle with debt buyers and your original creditors and sometimes debt collectors working for your creditors at 40%, assume sometimes that you're going to have to settle with an attorney at more than that. So 50 and 60% in some cases, depending on the creditor and depending on the situation and depending on your hardships. Also depends on where you live. I'm sorry, but it actually comes into play because if you live in Pennsylvania or North Carolina or Florida or Texas where you can't be garnished, then a lot of times these collection attorneys are going to be much more willing to deal with you and settle these kind of debts as compared to somebody who lives in New Jersey or Minnesota or other states that are very litigious like Missouri. So it's important to recognize all these details. I know that I threw a bunch out there in just this brief description of dealing with a debt collection attorney or a judgment. We have a ton of information and access to experts right on our website at ConsumerRecoveryNetwork.com. We have a toll-free number that you can reach out and speak with a specialist and kind of help understand some of the tricks and traps to negotiating or trying to solve a judgment or lawsuit or settle with an attorney debt collector as early as possible before it reaches one of those other more problematic stages. So reach out to us on this page. You can interact with us. We monitor these pages, all of our video pages. So Right below, you can post a comment, post questions, and we can answer you here. We can answer you at consumerrecoverynetwork.com, or you can call 800-939-8357 and talk with a specialist about your specific situation. The more we know about you, the more we can give you detailed information and help you out. Thanks for tuning in to this video, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you for watching.